We see things not as they are, we see things as we are. It's been a rather introspective week as a result of numerous thought-provoking conversations I've had about identity, beliefs, and missions, which I believe are at least partially summed up in that quote by Anais Nin, a poet. And in response to such questions, I am filming the Week 10 recap in an effort to reflect. So, for each of the days of the week, I will be counting out a major theme I've depicted in each of them. So, starting off with Monday, the major theme I identified was, so how are you going to react? In the wise words of Chuck Swindoll, life is 10% what happens to you and 90% how you react to it. So, in an effort to live by those words, when going to biology class and learning about the class's really dismal average for the second test, found new motivation in forming a study group, especially for my fellow ROTC peers in the class, in an effort to mutually benefit all of us, rising that average for the next exam. And so whenever anything gets you down, it's always great to be able to use that as motivation to create something new out of it. Following that, Tuesday was a rather scientific day. Following track practice in the morning and military science class from 12:30 to 2, instead of the usual biology lab I head to, it was online, where I had to watch videos that the class prepared. My group made one of them on an experiment to try to alter the gene expression in Tetrahymena thermophila, a type of ciliated eukaryotic organism. And so as a result of that, I got to vote on which video I liked the best, and then whichever one gets the most votes, we will perform in class. And smack dab in the middle of the week was Wednesday, when my chemistry exam took place in the afternoon. This exam was by far the most challenging one, and so I've been preparing the most for it over the last week and a half, filling out, completing all the worksheets he gave us, all the Alex homework and Moodle quizzes he assigned us, just trying to absorb as much of the material I could in preparation for a test which was actually more math than chemistry in a way. But I guess chemistry is math when dealing with stoichiometric coefficients and whatnot, so I guess I can say it's chemistry. But the test overall went well, and I won't find out the results till Monday, but other than one question which I'm pretty confident I got wrong, I'm hoping that the rest of it goes in my favor. And the main study strategy I applied for that chemistry exam was not sleeping on my textbook hoping I'd absorb the information, but rather it was experience. By completing all those worksheets he gave us, by completing the Alex problems, by completing the Moodle quizzes, I had experienced the types of questions he'd ask on the test, in an effort and attempt to be more familiar with it, thus I'd understand the step-by-step processes I need to answer those questions, especially in dealing with our current chapter, which is enthalpy and dilutions, and understanding molarity and molality, and answers that aren't exactly like, oh, A, you need to do this, B, you need to do this to get from here to here, but rather just where are you starting, where are you ending, and knowing the different paths you can take to get that answer was all because of that experience I had learned by just completing problems that he gave us. And so that was Wednesday. Thursday, as usual, was pretty mild with track practice in the morning and my military science class in the early afternoon. But then what was unique is I got to attend a special dinner hosted by a local group called Chi Alpha, and we got to experience an authentic Indian meal where we had no utensils beside our right hand. We got to scoop up rice and dal and feed it to ourselves like children, because we are children. And so it's common in India, is a tradition to not eat with anything other than your right hand. And so they believe it's more sensory oriented, to be able to feel, to smell, before you actually taste. So it's a really novel way of thinking about eating, especially in America. So that was my Thursday evening and leading into Friday. So Friday, the day that I'm filming this, it was the usual slate of classes in the morning, chemistry, calculus, and theology. But after they were done, and I actually added another brief track practice in today at 11:30, Then I had my entire afternoon off to do calculus problems, which took about 3 hours to do the web work problems. I had about 20-ish problems relating to trigonometric derivatives and also some review over inverse functions, which was pretty basic. But that was most of my afternoon spent doing that. Now I'm filming this to sum up the week, and then I'll be heading to dinner soon. And then tomorrow, the major thing is the Halloween barn dance at 7 p.m. where I get to dress up in costume, none other than dun 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 dun. If you get the reference, you'll know who I'm going as. But that is tomorrow at the Helena Fairgrounds, completely free. So Carroll was pretty sweet to have that deal for us. And then Sunday is probably going to be pretty open. No RTC events this weekend. So I'm looking forward to having a pretty relaxed weekend to recharge for the next week. Ad Meliora, toward better things.